Hello magazine lovers. Welcome to my channel. Today's topic is about Baris Baktas and Baktas. Before we move into the video, please subscribe to my channel. Baris Baktas had always carried himself with the kind of calm confidence that made it easy for others to assume his life was as orderly as his presence. But that illusion shattered one ordinary evening, in one extraordinary moment, when everything he thought he knew about his marriage collapsed right before his eyes. It was just after 8 p.m. Baris had wrapped up a long day on set and was looking forward to a quiet dinner at home. He hadn't called ahead, he didn't think he needed to. It was his house, his wife, his sanctuary. But as he turned the key in the lock and pushed the door open, he walked straight into a scene that would replay in his mind like a haunting film. Gulum, his wife, sitting far too close to another man on the couch, laughing, whispering, their knees nearly touching. And though they weren't caught in a compromising position, the intimacy between them was undeniable. Their reaction when they saw him was all the proof he needed. They jumped apart like teenagers caught by their parents, Baris later confided to a close friend. I didn't have to hear anything. I saw it all in their eyes. What followed was a silence so thick it could have suffocated the room. Gulum didn't speak. The man, whose identity Baris still refuses to disclose, mumbled an excuse and left in haste. And Baris, stunned and disoriented, walked right back out the door without saying a word. It wasn't until the next day that the dam finally broke. Friends say Baris was inconsolable. Not because of the betrayal, he had suspected for weeks that something was wrong. But because of the finality of it. He realized in that moment, one source said, that the marriage he was trying so hard to hold together was already over. The tension between Baris and Gulum had been building for months. Ever since rumors of his connection with Yagmur Yüksel began to surface, their home had turned into a quiet battlefield, cold dinners, silent treatments, passive-aggressive exchanges. But this was different. This was betrayal in its most personal form. For Gulum, it appears the incident wasn't entirely unexpected. According to someone in her inner circle, she'd grown resentful of Baris' emotional distance and had begun seeking comfort in someone who made her feel seen. Still, the public exposure of that private moment has left her shaken. She has not made any statements, and she's reportedly moved out of the house temporarily, staying with her sister. Baris, meanwhile, is caught between rage and heartbreak. He feels humiliated, says a longtime friend. But more than that, he feels lost. This was the woman he stood by for years, through everything. The incident has complicated matters with Yagmur as well. Just when things between them were beginning to move toward a quiet reconciliation, this explosion has thrown everything into chaos again. Some insiders say Baris has refused to speak to anyone since that night. He's been missing from the set, unreachable even by phone. Yagmur, according to those close to her, is torn. On one hand, she wants to be there for Baris, to support him through the fallout. But on the other hand, she doesn't want to be seen as a refuge, a shoulder he runs to only when everything else burns down. She's not trying to win by default, a friend explains. She wants to be chosen, not just found convenient. What makes the situation even more painful is the lingering affection. Baris and Gulum weren't always like this. There was once love, partnership, plans for a life built on trust. But trust, once broken, doesn't quietly mend. And in this case, it might be irreparable. Baris has reportedly met with his lawyers again. Sources say he is determined to restart the divorce process, this time armed with not just emotional motivation, but legal ammunition. It's not about revenge, they say. It's about closure. About cutting the final thread that's holding him back from living the life he knows he deserves. The media storm has, predictably, erupted. Fans are divided, some blaming Gulum for her infidelity, others accusing Baris of emotional abandonment long before the physical betrayal occurred. But one thing everyone seems to agree on, this story is far from over. Will Baris finally find peace with Yagmur? Will Gulum speak up and tell her side? Or will this all spiral into another chapter of unhealed wounds and unfinished endings? Right now, all we know is that Baris Baktas walked into his home expecting comfort and familiarity, and instead found a mirror reflecting everything that had gone wrong. And no matter how strong you are, no matter how stoic, no one walks away from that unchanged. If there are any celebrities you would like to know about and follow current developments, please indicate in the comments. Thank you for listening. I hope to see you in the next videos. Goodbye.